I need merch, by the way.
Well, that's great because I have one in the back.
Do you? I was like, should I just put it on? Is that crazy? Okay, better. This feels right.
Welcome to the squeeze, Bailee.
Now I feel like I'm like a part of it.
That's one of my like airplane movies.
It's weird because I'm in it.
Hello, Dr. Danny. How is you today?
Is that my associate, Dr. Doolittle? Why is she talking like that?
Take me out of it. I'm like, it's a great movie.
I always wonder this with child actors' identity struggle. Who is like Bailee? Like aside from all of these characters that you're portraying.
There's that, but then the real story is there was no connection to myself when I was going home at night, and I think that really was messing with me as I was looking in the mirror and being like, where is Bailee? Like, I went through about 3 different therapists. It's tough for me. I just haven't, I don't think, found my person yet.
Yeah.
It's weird sitting and telling someone about your life, even though I know that they can't say anything.
Yeah.
I need to work through that to be like, I can trust you and you're not gonna go put this out there or say something, and you could ask me anything. Except for the last one. I can't answer that one. I need merch, by the way.
Well, that's great because I have one in the back.
Do you? I was like, should I just put it on?
Do you want to?
Yeah. Should we just twin? No. Is that crazy?
Wait, maybe we should put it on. Let me grab it. Let's see if it fits. I think it's literally this.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, let me grab it.
Okay, better. This feels right.
Yeah.
This feels right for us.
Where were we?
Where weren't we?
Yeah, literally. Welcome to the squeeze, Bailee.
Thank you.
I feel like that's a good intro.
Now I feel like I'm like a part of it.
Yeah, we're
I was
here.
looking at your sweatshirt. I was like, why am I not wearing merch?
Yeah. We got all the lemons here at the squeeze. We got
love
all
it.
of our lemons, merch, and all the things.
I love it.
Okay, so we start each episode off this jar. It's a game called Citrus Got Real. If you want to,
That's great. Who came up with that?
I don't really know. I think I looked up like puns. Okay, so go ahead and pull a little question out of there.
Oh gosh, I'm really bad at picking. Are you that kind of girl too?
Yeah. I'm like, I have like this weird little thing that is like.
I don't know why I thought it'd be taped together.
It's fine.
Okay. Oh, what is the weirdest food combination that you love? Am I asking you this?
You're gonna answer it, and
I'm
I
gonna
also
answer it.
will answer
Okay,
if I
great.
have one.
Yeah. Do you want to pick one too? Do we do 2?
I'm trying to think what a weird combo is.
I
That
know.
I like.
I'm struggling. I do like popcorn dipped in hot sauce.
I have never tried that. That doesn't sound weird to me, but I actually think I've heard it.
I'm picking a new one.
Okay, go.
That one wasn't for us. What beverage describes your current mood? This is better.
Oh yeah,
Go.
you go. Current mood. I'm feeling like cozy, so maybe like a nice like hot like green tea, a lemon tea.
Oh, a tea would be good.
Yeah,
Maybe I should be on like a chamomile. Mm-hmm. That should be my mood.
but it's
My
not.
mood is like you're dehydrated. Drink water.
It's an empty glass.
But I'm like a coffee in. So
Yeah.
the correct mood for my mental health would be a nice tea,
yeah,
not caffeine.
yeah.
No.
It's okay. We win some, we
Hydrating.
lose some.
Yeah, this was better.
It's good.
Okay,
It's good. Okay, so I'm so excited to finally just like get to like
Finally.
sit and chat because
No.
it's been a long time coming.
Same.
And I'm just happy. When we first met at the Coldplay concert, whenever that
That's
was.
what it was, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
That was such a great
Yeah.
What a place to meet.
I know.
Like the vibes were high.
I know.
Energy was really good that night.
I didn't like I was obviously like, yes, Coldplay, like amazing. When we got invited and I was like, fun.
But
like,
Bailey's
cool.
going absolutely.
Absolutely, I'm
I'll
in.
be there, babe.
But I forgot like how many amazing songs Coldplay has. Like every song, I was like, I don't know if I really know Coldplay songs. I'm like, wait,
yeah.
I actually really do.
Yeah.
But we met and I remember Taylor and I driving home. I was like, oh my gosh, she was like so sweet.
Oh, that's really sweet. That's
You're
a really
sweet.
lovely thing to say. No, that like actually that like means a lot because I have that thing where like I'll meet someone new and have that experience where
Yeah.
like because I went home and did the same thing like with my boyfriend. I was like they were so lovely, and I had met Taylor forever ago, like when
Yeah.
I was so young. So it's always funny to meet people then in your life too. But then I'm always like, oh, I hope they also felt like it was a nice
Yeah.
interaction.
It was
So
reciprocated.
That's sweet. That's
was
sweet that it was
reciprocated.
yeah, thank you for that.
And yeah, that's I after that I was like, we should like have her on the podcast. And now
Thank
we're
you.
here.
Yeah, and then we need to like actually just
Yeah.
be friends and
Hang out and
properly.
do life and do the things.
Yeah, and anyone who's watching, just so you guys know, this has been like truly we have scheduled this. We've scheduled this so way too much, and I'm so
times.
sorry for that.
Oh
A
my
couple
gosh, stop.
times. First time I got in my first car accident. I was sobbing, by the way. I was like on the phone, like, I can't cancel on them. They were like, you can. You're not okay to do an interview. You should go home. I was like, okay. So this is third time's the charm. We finally we've made it happen.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's
no
really
better
good.
time. It was honestly, it was meant to be now.
Yeah, I
truly.
agree.
I love it. Okay, honestly just want to start talking with acting because
Okay.
when obviously like it's funny because I feel like I grew up with you because I've literally just been like watching you
That's
like
nice.
as like I've grown up. So I feel like I've grown up with you. And before this, I like went and looked at your IMDb and it literally you've done so much freaking crap, not crap, but you've done so much stuff.
Thank you.
Like I
Some are
literally
like questionable.
I just stop.
People are like, maybe.
It's just like there's truly so much on there. I was like, I just kept scrolling. I was like,
That's really nice.
because I feel like I've seen you like do so many things because I
Thank
have
you.
like consistently seen you on
That is
my
really, you're
screen.
lovely. Thank you for that. No, thank you. It's funny because I have been blessed to like be doing this for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I think I'm still, a couple years ago, I feel like I started trying to blend like what my younger self did. I almost viewed her as like a separate person to me rather than like I did that. It was like, oh, she did that. Like she pulled that off.
Yeah.
And so it's been a really interesting thing, like trying to reflect and maybe acknowledge and actually be like, oh, it's been like quite a ride.
Yeah.
So I feel very, very grateful that it hasn't stopped and I'm still navigating and figuring it out.
Yeah. How old were you when, like, what was the first job you booked?
The first job I booked, well, I did a commercial when I was 2 weeks old
LOL.
with my mom. But that was just because my mom booked the commercial and she just had a baby and they said, your baby can be in it. And she was like, great.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's so
I know.
cute.
So like an Office Depot commercial. Isn't that
Wait,
funny?
love that.
I know. So there's that. But then the real story is, so my sister's 13 years older than me.
Okay.
She was an actress and then decided to go to college, got a degree and stuff. And but before that, she was auditioning for movies and did a film and things like that. And so I was 3 and she was auditioning for this movie. They saw me in like the waiting room with my mom and they said like, does she act? And I think they said no. And they were like, does she want to try? And so I went and auditioned for that and then did that film when I was I was 3. And it was I still haven't seen it because it was such a dark movie that I wasn't able to watch it when I was younger and I just have never come around to like watching it. But it was John Travolta and Salma Hayek and James Gandolfini. It was like the most beautiful Jared Leto. It was the craziest cast in Orlando, Florida and little baby Bailee.
Oh my gosh.
So that was the first one. And then came Bridge Terabithia. So then,
And did you just kind of consistently do it?
yeah.
Did you go to school or were you homeschooled?
I went to a little private elementary school in Florida, which was amazing. I think I owe so much gratitude to them because I really wasn't able to be there much. And they weren't the kind of school to say, well, she's not here, so it doesn't make sense for us to have her. It's too complicated. Or they just tried to adapt as we were trying to adapt. And I think my mom made such a point of if I had like a week off or a few days off, we'd go right back to Florida and I'd go back to school and pack my lunch and learn about Jesus. And like, I think it was just a really beautiful, even though I wasn't there the entirety of the experience, it was the only school experience that I did get to have.
Yeah.
And built, I think, a lot of foundation in my heart that exists still to this day because of those teachers and because of my time. So, and all my siblings went there and now like my nieces and nephews in Florida have all gone to Christ Church. So it was just like a really sweet, I feel like I at least got to have that.
Yeah. Was that just for elementary school or did you do that junior high and high school?
Just for elementary.
Okay.
I did tour a high school. I was really excited about the idea of like going to an actual middle school and high school and stuff. And so I went to the school that my sister had gone to, toured it. And then we looked at my schedule for that year and we couldn't even find like 3 days for me to go. And so it just didn't make any sense. So then I did online virtual school, which is just, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. I was like, where are the books? Everything was like I'm still asking this question
Where
today.
are they?
Every day I'm like, where are the books?
That's so funny.
Where's the paper, the hard copies?
Yeah. I'm a hard copy
You're,
girl.
right, you have to. I love it. And I know it's not great. I get that. I understand. But I need to like physically touch something.
Yeah.
So then came that, which was a whole a whole beast in itself.
Yeah. Were you like bummed at the time that like, did you go to a prom or like have any of that like high school experience?
I didn't go to a prom. I didn't have those experiences.
Yeah.
I never felt sad about it though.
Yeah.
I really didn't. One, I think because it was always said to me when I was little, like, if you're not happy, we can quit. If you're not having fun, like, no one needs you to keep doing this. So I always had that knowledge in my head.
Yeah.
But I loved it, what I was doing. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to trade it for anything. And then I'm trying to get it back. Like, I still have it in myself, but my younger self was so good at someone would be like, are you sad that you're not at like the dance or the prom? And I'd be like, well, I just went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and that was kind of like a prom. Like, I had this way of just viewing things for what they were and finding the joys in it. And so I felt grateful for that. But then I became like 14 and realized like I've never had a sleepover. So then like, I'm a bit delayed in those things, I would say, more so. I'm still trying to kind of find my tribe of people.
Yeah. Do you feel like you ever, because I always wonder this with child actors, do you feel like you had any form of like identity struggle? Like who is like Bailee, like aside from all of these characters that you're portraying?
Yeah, probably more recently than before. I think, I don't know. I think like 20s have been like the age of the 20s have been just really odd for me a little bit. A lot of reflection. I just did a show for 2 seasons and that basically took up 4 years of our life almost. And within that, there was actually more time to sit with myself than I had ever had.
Yeah.
Because we were just upstate filming and we filmed for 10 months. And it was the first time I feel like I got to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, even within the mayhem of what our hours were and like the experience. But no, I think I probably have that more so now in the sense of like, I'm old enough now to know the kind of life that I'm really truly working for. And it's not that far away in terms of just family and the things that are fragile and you can't get back and that have nothing to do with this business that just matter to me. And so I feel like I probably am feeling that a bit more as of lately than before. It's now slowly knocking and we're addressing.
No, I think that's like so common, even just, acting world aside. Like I feel like that is so normal for like people in their 20s to feel. It's truly something that is so relatable. Like no matter what industry you're in, is like your 20s is just like, wait,
what the
like,
heck?
what am I doing? So I turn 28 next month, which is crazy.
Happy birthday.
But which I'm like, even like still now, I'm like, I actually can't wait to turn 30 because everyone says you like feel better about yourself when you're 30.
Why am I like convinced that I'm like, I don't want to rush time at all. I'm trying to really enjoy, but I just have this gut feeling.
Yeah.
I'm like, get me to my 30s.
I know.
Let's
I think like
go.
watching Taylor, because he's 5 years older than me.
Right.
So like watching him turn 30, he was a little nervous about it, but like watching him like turn 30 and then like feel like now like 33 and just like thriving. Happy. Like good. I'm like, okay, I have like something good.
No, it'll be really good.
It is weird saying that I'm 28 because it feels like so like I just think back to when I was like 16, 17, 18 and like I would hear someone was 28. I was like, whoa, like that's an adult. That is an adult.
I know.
I'm not an adult.
I just had that conversation with my little niece the other day. I was just with her. She's 12 and she was just talking about ages and I looked at her and I said, okay. I said, here's what I'm going to tell you. Just enjoy. I was like, you're going to get there. And she like kind of rolled her eyes. And I was like, I know why you just rolled your eyes. Yeah. People used to say that to me. And I'd always be like, that's so annoying.
I know.
But I said, it's true. So just try to embrace it. She's like, okay, yeah, you embrace it too. I was like, okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's be honest. We all have a million things going on in our everyday lives that we have to worry about. And getting in a good workout shouldn't be one of them. Working out from home is definitely ideal, but with all the equipment that you need, it can be hard to find the space for it. Enter Tonal, the at-home gym with a new, sleek, modern design that can seamlessly complement any living space. Tonal will pick the perfect weight, track your progress, and suggest what to do next based on your muscle readiness, taking the guesswork out of getting a great workout in. Tonal is the world's smartest workout that effortlessly fits into the busiest of lifestyles. And with the latest iteration, Tonal 2, you can ensure your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal learns from your movement and sets optimal weight for every move. With new drop sets, Tonal 2 analyzes your movement, senses when you're fatiguing, and will drop weight until your muscles are maxed out. An experience you can only get in the gym until now. This tonal machine truly is like having your own personal trainer at home all the time, whenever you want. If you haven't heard of tonal before, you guys need to check it out because truly we have one in our garage and it is like unreal. It's so high tech and it's so cool how it really adapts to your body and how it just seamlessly gives you the perfect workout. And right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code SQUEEZE. That's tonal.com. Use promo code SQUEEZE for $200 off your purchase. Tonal.com, promo code SQUEEZE for $200 off. We've been talking about prioritizing self-care on this podcast for quite some time. And one of my goals for this year was really putting into my body good quality ingredients and prioritizing my internal self this year. And that's why I rely on companies like Symbiotica because they make such good quality products, you guys. They're free from seed oils, preservatives, toxins, and other artificial additives, which are usually found in supplements. And you're really getting the good stuff that your body craves. Symbiotica is one of those companies, you guys have heard me talk about them before. I just absolutely love what they're doing because I can trust them. I know that every product they make is truly just the best ingredients. They're not giving us those fillers. They're not giving us those preservatives that are so often found in supplements. They really are on a mission to help us fill our bodies with the right things. And one of the products that I absolutely love from them is Symbiotica's liposomal vitamin C packs. They're really great because they come in these convenient little pouches. And I have mine by my coffee machine, so I'll take it while my coffee's brewing, or if I'm traveling, I can just throw it in my bag. Vitamin C helps improve my skin by supporting collagen production, and it also improves your immune health. Also, these packs really taste great. I feel like when I first heard it was a liquid, I was like, oh no, this is not going to taste good. But it's a vanilla citrus flavor that I really love. And I think you guys should really try these products because I just love what Symbiotica is doing. High quality, holistic wellness right at your fingertips. Be present and feel your best for life's most memorable moments. Go to symbiotica.com/squeeze for 20% off your order plus free shipping. That's symbiotica.com/squeeze for 20% off your order plus free shipping today. Hey, Lemon Drops. Life can definitely be a lot, and we all need a little bit of help finding balance sometimes. And that's where Ollie comes in. Today, we're talking about two amazing products that I have been loving and I want to share with you guys. It is Goodbye Stress and Woman's Multi. These gummies are here to support your wellness journey and help you feel your very best every day. You guys know how I feel about pills. I absolutely hate taking pills. So anything that I can take in a gummy form, I absolutely will. Goodbye Stress is one of my favorite products when I am feeling frazzled or nervous. These gummies truly come to the rescue. GABA starts working in just 30 to 60 minutes to help you stay calm and focus in moments of occasional stress. L-theanine and lemon balm extract complete the zen-inducing trio for a balanced mood. And the berry verbena flavor is delightfully tasteful and uplifting. Ollie's Women's Multi Gummies simplify your daily health routine, packed with essential nutrients like vitamins A, C, D, E, Bs, and zinc. They're your go-to for filling your nutritional gaps. Let's do wellness on your terms, whatever that looks or feels like for you. You can find Ollie at Walmart or Target near you or at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. I'm curious with, having worked so much, have you ever hit a point where you're like, I need a break? Or have you been able to like pace it out well enough?
I don't think I've ever said it.
Yeah.
One, because I don't know what I would do with a break.
Yeah.
Which maybe is a conversation in itself,
Yeah.
But my home is a set.
Yeah.
I never feel I'm homesick because you miss your people, but I quickly make that a home and love meeting different people and becoming close and forming something. And so the idea of taking a break from that even is really would be tough for me. I feel like I've had breaks forced on me. Like when the strike happened, that was a break that like affected all of us. And I think all of us stared at a wall for a little bit and what do we do with this information?
Yeah.
And then like when COVID hit, that felt like my first break ever.
Yeah.
So I feel as if it almost happens.
Yeah.
And then I go with it, but I've never said it.
Yeah. That's great. We recently had Anna Cathcart on. And she was telling us about how, like, you know, she loved acting so much.
She's so
like,
sweet.
She's the
What a
sweetest
sweetie.
and like one of the wisest people I've ever met. Like she sat down and I was like, I could listen to you speak for hours.
Yeah, she's great.
She's lovely.
I haven't seen her forever, but
yeah.
I have like the little ones that I keep an eye on.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel stalkerish because I don't know if they know that I'm keeping an eye on them, but I get protective over the little youngins. I'm like, bless you all.
No, she's so
Just wanna
great.
Make sure they're good.
But when she was talking about something I never like thought of how like the switch, like growing up, acting wasn't a job. She had the same thing. Her parents were like, you don't want to do this. Like, fine. Like she felt it was very safe to leave. Absolutely loved it. And then when she like switched to being an adult and then was also like the lead of her show at that same time, it was a switch that did start to like make it feel like
a job.
work.
Yeah.
And you know, there was no like school time. There was no like hours. There was no like, there was hours before. Now there was no
hours.
Yeah.
Now it's hours on set.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to that because Taylor didn't have. I mean, he finished school and then he didn't have that like switch for him. Did you ever have that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think I did personally.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I know it's like,
but it's different. It really is.
Yeah.
I always say bless my mother. Trying to figure it all out because there is no handbook. There is no. It affects. You're throwing humans into an industry that just doesn't give any guidelines or reassurance for the most part, or human acknowledgement at how bizarre it can be too.
Yeah.
So I could see that for her too.
Yeah.
Also, she goes from the movie and then to leading something too is such a different task. To take on.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I felt it. I think you reach an age though where then it becomes like you realize it is your job though. And then, you have bills and those sort of things. Like that definitely is the switch where you're like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
But I don't think so for me.
Yeah. You mentioned this earlier about being in upstate New York.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about PLL?
I am.
Okay, I want to talk about it. Because we talked about it with Chandler.
I know.
And I'm curious to see, she obviously like opened up about, for those of you that don't know, her and Chandler did a show together.
Yeah.
And
my girl.
they're just the cutest little things.
I love her so much.
But when she was on, she was sharing with us about that experience. And I was curious.
What'd she say?
Roll the tape. Roll it back.
It was really hard. And I've actually never really spoken about this openly, but it was like a dark time for all of us. We loved the show so much, but it was just really heavy material that we were dealing with. Creating that though and telling those stories just, I think, really took a toll. It was heavy for sure.
No, but she was just like, that was kind of like the first time like I really like struggled with my mental health was during that time.
I'm like, this is true.
Yeah. I could attest to it.
As her friend, I concur.
Yeah.
She would say the same for me though.
Yeah.
100%. I had the same experience.
Yeah. What was it like for you? When did you like first start having like a struggle with that time period?
I feel like first season was particularly tough for everyone.
Yeah.
I think more than the second.
Yeah.
We were filming during COVID. Not that when I work, I work, I go home, I sleep, I learn the pages, I'm back on set the next day. My weekend isn't to do things. My weekend is to try to stay healthy and then go back to work on that Monday. So when I say like COVID affected us, not in a sense where it's like, oh, I couldn't go to dinner, I couldn't do this. It was more, we weren't allowed visitors. We weren't allowed family to come and see us. And you're in a cabin in the woods for 10 months straight. And I think my version of it was my character specifically just was going through a lot of dark stuff from the moment that you met her. I was wearing a pregnancy stomach, 19 and a half hours of the day, like my ribs dislocated. I was kind of brushing that off, brushing that pain off for the longest time. But I think my hair was blonde. There was no connection to myself when I was going home at night. And I think that really was messing with me as I was looking in the mirror and being like, where is Bailee? Like, all I see is Imogen right now. And I'm taking her home with me and going to set with her a bit.
And that's a heavy character.
It was
to bring home
heavy.
with
Yeah,
you.
it was really heavy. And I love those kind of characters. I just think for this particular time, we kind of felt like we were in the show, I think, and there was no escape. But it was also turned out to be the most beautiful thing that could have happened because we genuinely all had such love for each other and have so much love for each other. And Chandler was like my little right-hand gal because our characters were always kind of buddies anyways. And so we'd have these little side moments to build in the first season. But second season, we definitely all went in being like, okay, all the dogs are coming. Whoever has a dog, the dog is going to be there. Like, and it was summertime and it was sunny and we just had then established this foundation where we could all read each other in 2 seconds, I think, and know who needed to step out for a second or know who needed to talk or just have a read on each other. But, you know, when you first get put in a situation, you're also just learning everything at once. And the stakes are high and you're doing a show where the stakes are high and everyone online has something to say. You know, I think there was just so many pieces of the puzzle. Yeah. But Chandler handled it all with grace. Oh my gosh. I was so proud of her. But we cried our fair share of tears. Oh my gosh. Just our fair share.
I can't imagine. How do you like do you just come out of like that tough state once you're like wrapped and you're like, okay, I'm free now? Like, is that what happens? Or did you have to like address like what was going on?
I actually think I did have to address it. Because when I landed back from the first season, my sister looked at me. We went out to lunch the next day and I was like, yeah, I'm doing good. Like, I just feel really happy to be back. I said, it's kind of a whirlwind, you know. Filming becomes such a blur. It's the weirdest thing. It's all consuming. And then you step out of it and you're like, what the hell just happened? Yeah. But my sister was the one who looked at me and she said, I don't think you're that great. She was like, I think you're maybe, you know, a percentage of yourself, but you're also hidden in there. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And I think it just took time. Yeah. Just to process and be still and be back in my place and get my extensions out of my hair.
You know? Turn your hair back brown.
Turn my hair back to brown.
Become Bailee again.
Yeah.
Did you go to therapy at all throughout that time? Or
I tried it. I went through about 3 different therapists.
I know.
It's tough for me, therapy. I feel like I love what it has done to people in my life. I just haven't, I don't think, found my person yet. Yeah. And I think I always try to edge on the side of optimism and when my brain feels low, trying to turn it into joy the best that I can. And it's weird sitting and telling someone about your life when in general I'm aware, even though I know that they can't say anything. Yeah. I need to work through that to be like, I can trust you and you're not going to go put this out there or say something. And so I think it just comes down to finding my person. Yeah. But I was trying. Chandler was, we were each other's therapist.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I and Taylor both preach therapy, but it is like, sometimes it's just not for people. And I always like try to encourage people if you haven't found the right person,
like keep trying.
Yeah, to keep trying. And it can get discouraging because like you're like opening up and sharing and then you're like, wait, you actually aren't. It's a relationship, truly. So you have to be able to have that with your person. And I know Taylor, that was a fear of Taylor's when he started therapy as well. Was, you know, you have to, in this industry, like you're private.
It's tough.
And he definitely like had so many walls up, like even just with like close friends.
Him. Yeah.
So having that and like him like finally like being able to like open up has been really sweet, really cool.
Yeah, I'm on the hunt. Yeah. I'm on the hunt. I have found this really wonderful human, and her name is Valerie, and she's not my therapist, but I think basically kind of is my therapist. And I think speaks in a sense of like I will tell her everything and sob on the phone for an hour with her, and but comes from a place of I do feel as if I'm a bit of an intuitive person. Like I do think people have energies, and I think this world is so beautiful, and so talking with her in that perspective has been I started working with her right after the first season, and
Okay.
that's been a really helpful thing for me.
Yeah.
Kind of going.
That's
but
amazing. I think
we're getting
honestly,
there.
just being able to like voice how you're feeling, because so many times, like even like I go to therapy, I feel very safe talking with Taylor
Yeah.
about stuff, and like there's still things that I'll like work up in my head, and it's this huge thing, and then I say it out loud. I'm like, oh wait,
I know.
that actually,
Did that bother me?
yeah, that actually isn't as big as I like made it. That was actually
I'm
a little
actually fine
silly.
with it.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
honestly just being able to like have someone
Who's
like,
actually there to hear
yeah,
and
yeah.
listen.
yeah, there that loves you and like obviously wants the best for you.
Yeah.
and is gonna like give you
Yeah. And
love
who at the end you're not like, I'm so sorry. Did I take too much? Did I take too
Yeah.
much space in talking about what I'm going through?
Yeah.
Because I think I'm so highly aware of that as well, and
yeah,
in just my personal life. And so it's nice to be like, no, that is your hour, and
yeah,
they do want to hear
Yeah.
the ins and outs. And it's so funny because I'll get on with her and I'll feel perfectly fine. I was signing on. I'm like, I don't even know if I need this.
Yep.
She'll say hi to me, and I'm like,
yeah.
just sobbing.
It's so good. Taylor all the time. He like I my whole thing is I'll always like make his appointments for him. I'm like, hey, you're gonna go.
Nice.
And which he loves. Everyone, I'm not forcing him
No,
to
no,
do it.
he
can
loves
say
it.
no.
He loves it.
But he'd be like, what am I going to talk to him about? Like, I don't have, like, everything's great. Nothing's going on. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I think you'll find something.
Yeah, you'll find
And sure
it.
enough,
He
he's like,
finds it.
that was great.
I feel much better.
Yeah. Look at that.
That's
funny,
good.
funny how that happens.
I love that.
But I just had something you said made me think of, I recently was like sharing like some personal stuff with my best friend. She lives in Austin, and she's a nurse, like very like just normal
nice.
life. And
We love
I
normal
felt like I
life.
was just like burdening her with like all the stuff, and I was like spewing, and I was like, okay, I was like, I can say this because like you know me, and you know like my heart, and you know, and I was just like going off.
Yeah.
And then like the next day I was like, was I a little like too like harsh on the phone? And then I called her this morning, and I was like, hey, I've
just
been
happened.
yeah, no, literally. I was like, hey, at 10 a.m. I FaceTimed her. I was like, hey, I was feeling a little bad for like being so like aggressive, not towards her, but
No.
the way I was speaking.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? Don't, you're
Right.
fine.
I know.
Yeah. She's like, why are you apologizing? And
Yes.
she's like, I know you, you're fine.
Yes.
I was like, okay, that made me
Yes.
feel better.
Chandler and I, obviously Chandler just had the insane Dancing with the Stars journey that she had.
Yeah.
And that was just so much for her. But we squeezed in this like little pocket of a night that we were both free for, right? Like post Dancing with the Stars. And we were like, if we don't do it now,
Yeah.
it'll be another 4 weeks or 5 weeks
Yeah.
for our schedules. And so she came over to the house and spent the night, and we just talked. But it's so funny because I'll see her finally talk, knowing that she hasn't been able to have a space to say anything.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, but also you know, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you.
I know.
You know, we both do this like back and
Yeah.
forth thing.
I
But
even
it's
felt like she
nice.
was doing that here, like when we were just like chatting, and we
Yeah.
got along so great. And she was like, but like she'd say something and be like, I'm like, no, you're fine.
You're fine.
Like I
Yeah.
know you're not like
Yeah.
trying to be like rude or mean,
No,
or I
yeah.
know your
No,
heart right
yeah.
now. Even just like after talking with her for an hour, I was
She's
like,
great.
I understand.
No,
you're
she's
coming from.
she's a lifer for me for sure.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's really
But
special.
on our chat is like all of us. It's still popping.
I love
Which
that.
I'm like, how beautiful is that?
yeah.
You put those many girls in a room, and it's like that much love.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I was just talking with someone. I'm not, I mean, I'm for the women. I am a girl's girl in
me
that
too.
regard,
I
but
love the women.
sometimes in like a group of girls,
I don't know.
I get overwhelmed, and I'm like, sometimes I don't like mesh with
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
And so that I would like worry about that for myself if I was in like your scenario, like
Right.
being around
Yeah.
a cast of
It
girls.
all worked. And like you're around for 10 months. So like all your hormones sync.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
That's
just,
honestly the best
it's
timing
just
when
true.
that happens.
Like we're all looking at each other like shit. But yeah.
That's literally like the best thing when me and my like best friends all sync up. We're like, oh, we've really been getting some good quality time together.
yeah, it's so true.
It's a good
Yeah.
measure of how
It's
much time.
So funny that it's so funny. But this just made me think of when you asked me if I ever felt like I was missing out from like experiences. I would say second season for me, actually having those many people around me that we all had this relationship, and it was like summertime. I was like, wait, I feel like this is my first. We all were in the same apartment complex, and
Cute.
next door, whoever wasn't working would make something and then leave it outside the door for that night for that person, and we'd go and just have wine and like sit and talk. And I remember I looked at Chandler and everyone, I was like, I think is this my college experience? And they were like, I think this is your high school, middle school, or college experience.
All of the above.
It's all of the above.
Oh my gosh.
But that was actually very healing for me.
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I bet it was healing one in that regard, but also to like make up for like the season filming prior. Like,
plus that season.
Yeah.
We had bats like that season. If Roberto and Lindsay were on, they would also be like, that was a tougher season.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, Lemon Drops. I have been sharing this self-care year that I want to have. It's one of my goals for this year. And when I say self-care, I don't necessarily mean like therapy, journaling, like all that stuff obviously is important. I'm going to continue to do that. But also the things that I'm putting into my body, I want to make sure my inside is thriving just as much as my body, quote unquote, on the outside is. And that's where one of my favorite brands, Premier Protein, comes into play. You guys have heard of this brand. You've seen it everywhere. When I think of a ready-to-go protein shake or protein powder, this is the brand that I think of. They are the OG, and they are truly the number one brand in the convenient nutrition category. Premier Protein has high protein, 1 gram of sugar, and is available in ready-to-drink protein shakes and also in great-tasting powders. I love these ready-to-go shakes because you guys know how busy I am. Being able to just grab one of these and run out the door and know that I'm getting enough protein truly just like eases my mind. I can bring it into, a day packed full of meetings, whatever it is. It's so easy to just grab one of these out of the fridge and bring it with me on my day. Not to mention they have some amazing flavors. Some I have out right now are strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, and then also one of my favorites is this cafe latte. The reason I love it is because it has a cup of coffee in it. So it's honestly like you're doing 2 jobs at once, drinking this because you're getting your protein, but you're also getting your coffee, which is something that I need both of in my everyday life. You guys need to check these shakes out. They truly are amazing. And if you would prefer a powder, they make the best powder too. Premier Protein, sweeten the journey. You can visit premierprotein.com and go to where to buy to find a retailer near you or find where to online. Okay, guys, you know how picky I can be with with vitamin companies, with anything that's in the health and wellness world. You guys know that I can be pretty picky with the brands that I choose to take. And I want to tell you guys about one that I genuinely have been loving, and that is Qualia. I've never felt better lately, and in part because of Qualia's products that I'm using on a regular basis. Qualia's science team is tackling some of the most challenging aspects of health and wellness that we all face, human longevity to optimizing mental health. Their supplements and formulas are raising the bar on what's possible for our health through advanced nutrition. Qualia's ingredient sourcing, the bioavailability of the ingredients in their formulas, and the holistic formulation strategies are all at the highest standards of health and wellness. I encourage you to check out their rapidly expanding product line of supplements that support so many common health needs. One that I love is Qualia's NAD+. NAD+ is a molecule that is in literally every cell of your body, and it is critical to aging well. NAD+ is what helps keep your body feeling youthful by promoting cellular energy, maintaining healthy DNA, and using nutrients efficiently and supporting detoxification. Take a look at Qualia's line of truly inspired health formulas. Go to qualialife.com/squeeze and use code SQUEEZE at checkout for 15% off your purchase. That's Qualia, QUALIA life.com/squeeze for 15% off your purchase. Thank you, Qualia, for sponsoring this episode. Lemon Drops, those are our listeners. That's our community. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but we have a form that we have our guests fill out.
Oh, yeah.
Before they come in, just because, we can talk about sensitive stuff and we want to make sure we're being respectful and don't want to make people ever feel uncomfortable, want to talk about.
You could ask me anything, except for the last one. I can't answer that one, but you can ask me anything after that.
But, LOL. So on this form, though, you wrote something that
This was a while ago, too, this
It was.
Because I was wondering if I was going to have to update it.
Yeah.
So what did I say? What did Bailee in that time of her life say?
I I really like this.
Oh.
But so one of the questions is like, what would you say is the greatest challenge in your life? And you said knowing I'm enough and always fighting to stay honest to myself as possible.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that.
Thank you. I agree with that. I still agree with that. Yeah, it's complicated, isn't it?
Yeah.
That it's so simple, like to know that you're enough and you're okay and you're safe and you're loved. And this is where I get email. I knew it happened. Chandler called it. I knew it. I knew it. It's tough. I don't want to blame it on the industry that I'm in, because I think this is a feeling that everyone in their life wonders or feels, and I think you get cut in so many different ways in your life. You lose people, you think you have an idea of something, and then it turns out to be different. And so it's something that I'm definitely still working on, is just knowing that I am fine, and however anyone else wants to take anything, at the end of the day, I know my intentions and I know my heart, and I know that what comes out of my mouth is honest and true, and that there's beauty in it in itself, and that is enough. But it's a tough one to actually put together and believe all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's why I loved reading that, because like it is so relatable no matter what. Honestly, no matter what stage of life you're in, like truly like knowing who you are and staying true to yourself. I say all the time, like with this podcast, I started it like for the reason to be able to have like these conversations and just have open conversation with people, so that people listening could feel less alone and could feel heard and could feel like they could talk to someone about it. And there's been times where we've been offered guests, which I think any other person would be like,
Yes,
why did you turn them down?
Yeah.
Like, why did you do that? And it's something that I definitely like struggle with sometimes, and trying to stay true to who, at the end of the day, this is my
your
baby.
baby.
This is like, this is who I am.
It
And like
is.
staying true to what my intention was of this podcast. It can get hard sometimes.
Yeah, that must be tough, because I would imagine then you start it, then you get all the cooks in the kitchen, and then it's like did you feel pressure quickly on trying to make it something that it maybe was never supposed to be? Like, do you feel protective over it still now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll always be protective over it, because it is also just because I've seen the response, like having people come up to me and like say that this podcast saved their life and like they were suicidal, and how it's changed like
So
how they view
beautiful.
things. Like I always tell Taylor, I'm like, I don't think I could ever like, I don't know when I'm going to stop doing this,
No,
because
no,
I
you
don't think
shouldn't.
I can.
No.
But just like hearing that, I'm like, okay, this is like,
It's worth it.
this is one, what I'm supposed to be doing, but also like this, like it has to stay like this, because
Well, the intention is such an important thing, isn't it? Like the
Yeah.
purpose of why you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
And keeping that pure and
Yeah.
sacred and protected.
Yeah,
Which
and
I
it's-
think you're doing a beautiful job at.
Thank you.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is so tempting to like do that brand deal or have this guest on, which I know will get the views. We could get paid a lot. And I'm just like I know, like I'm trusting God to carry this, like where it's going to be. And like now, like starting like our third season, it's
crazy.
like having 2 full years done with this to see where it's come from. Like I'm also someone that I'm really hard on myself, as in like I literally like want to like be Joe Rogan and like have like the biggest podcast. Like I'm like, why aren't I there? Like I'm like, I need to be there. I'm not working hard enough.
Babe, story of my life. I've been at this since I was freaking. Let's go back to 2 weeks old, shall we? I'm like, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
My friend just spoke to me the whole drive here. My friend Bailee, she lives in New York. And we've both been like going through it recently in the last few weeks, and very mirrored with like what we were going through.
Yeah.
And she just said to me, she was like, yes, well, this is because you're your worst critic.
Yeah.
You are the harshest person to
Yes.
yourself. I was like, I know.
Yes.
That checks
We just
out.
had someone on and she was saying we need to treat ourselves like we treat other people.
know.
And I was like, wait, what? And we were like,
know.
that's so true. Like when I'm having like a day and when I'm having a sad day and I just like work from bed, I just stay in bed all day. Like Taylor is like, take your time, like bring me food, he'll bring the talk. Like he's so kind. And then like, I'm like, I need to like, that's how I need to be
I
to
know.
myself.
I know.
But it's,
But I'm the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why are
I
we
like
like that?
apologize if
Yeah.
I go home and I have, like, I just had our family dog just passed. Oh, bless Maddie. Shout out to Maddie. 14 years of like the most beautiful pup.
As my pup's whining.
Oh my gosh. Is that a little God wink?
Wait, what?
What was
Wait,
that?
that's making me emotional.
I'm like laughing because now I'm getting nervous. I'm like, Maddie.
Remy is whining
Maddie, are you
outside the
back?
door right now. Wait.
Do you want to come in?
Yeah, let her in.
Yeah. Oh, hi, you're so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you heard about Maddie.
Okay, bye. She'll come back with a toy. Just watch.
I hope so.
She'll be in here in 2 seconds.
I got to go on the Drew Barrymore show,
Yes.
and she
You
has
are
her dog.
Drew.
That's
You literally like are mini Drew.
that's a really lovely thing to say. I think she's amazing, and it's very kind that you just said that because it's so funny. I was laying in bed last night, and I'm again with being kind to yourself, really bad at reaching out for like help.
Yeah.
I'm not great at that.
Okay.
It takes a lot for me to be like, I'm not okay. And
Yeah.
I'm getting better at being like unwell.
Interesting. Yeah.
Unwell is
Yeah.
what I say. But I was literally laying in bed last night and I made my boyfriend turn on Santa Clarita Diet. I was like, have you ever seen this show? It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
And so we put on Santa Clarita Diet and I was watching her and she was just so amazing when I was on her show and exchanged numbers and she was like, if you ever need anything, I'm here. And I was literally laying in bed last night being like, I think I'm gonna call her. I think what's the worst that can happen?
That's so true.
I'm like, she doesn't answer.
Yeah.
But there's something in there where she's been in this for so long and she just seems so lovely and we should give that love to ourselves.
Yeah.
But from one gal to another, I understand it.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
Really tough. I started writing love notes to myself.
Wait, I love that.
Yeah. I've started giving myself hugs. Have you ever given yourself a hug?
I've done it like once or twice when like I've been learning like the different things.
Yeah,
Or the
so,
different tools.
Yeah, I give myself hugs now sometimes because I'm a very big physical touch person.
Okay.
Like huge.
I could have guessed that with when we sat down. You were like,
Yeah, come closer. No, and on set it was so funny on PLL. They'd all call me Mama B because they'd all make fun because I just
my
like
gosh.
walk behind them and kind of scratch their shoulder and just
Yeah.
give them like a love tap.
Aw.
And but I'm a very physical touch person, and sometimes we'll bottle it in. And then if you give me like a hug or you just touch me, like I let it out. It's it's really interesting. I don't know what that means, but there's probably something in there that we could, a
Talk to Valerie.
therapist could help me with.
Talk to Valerie about it.
No, love notes to myself in my diary, like in my journal.
Okay.
Because I love writing. I think there's a lot of power in putting words on paper. I found it very, very healing.
Yeah.
But then found it hard to commit to.
Yeah.
So I kind of started to reframe it a bit and writing like, hi, Bailee. I know this has been a lot, but I'm really proud of you for X, Y, and Z. And it was so strange the first time around.
Yeah.
And then it was really beautiful because I was telling myself the things that I think I just needed to hear anyways and that I would tell a friend or someone that I love. So, yeah.
I love that.
I love notes.
I need to get better at journaling. I feel like I go
in phases.
I was going to say I really go in waves.
Me too. I mean, to make you feel better, last night I was still with my boyfriend in the kitchen and I said, sorry to cut you off. I was on one. I was like, sorry to cut you off. I was like, can I just say, I said, I haven't journaled in a minute. And he's like, I know. I said, and it's upstairs. It's in the bedroom to the left. I said, I know exactly where it is. I said, and it's just been knocking on my brain the last week. And he was like, well, you should pick it up and journal. I said, no. He said, why not? I said, I'm pissed at it. He was like, why are you mad at the journal? I was like, I don't know, but it's bothering me right now. And I just go through waves. I think it's because I don't want to write the sentence that's like, it's been a minute.
Yeah. ...
I'm back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I also feel like maybe maybe that means you mentally aren't prepared to confront what you're gonna write, or you're putting it off because you're
putting
scared
it
to.
off. Yeah, I think I'm putting it off.
You should write it tonight.
Sure, I'll let you know. You should write tonight in a journal too. You write and I'll write.
Okay, deal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I wish there was a camera for her.
One of them might be able. I mean, that one can definitely pick her up.
It's a really great ball you have. It's really beautiful.
She always has 2 toys.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
Okay, so aside from journaling,
Yeah.
is there any other self-care tools that you use, mental health tools, anything like that?
Worship music is a really big one for me.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'll put that off too.
Yeah. I understand that completely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I definitely will put that off because I'm like, I know if I like hear anything that is like remotely spiritual right now, I'm gonna cry. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a song by Housefires, I think. It was like Build My Life, I think, or something like that. I'll send it to you. It's like an 8-minute psalm. And that's my shower psalm when things are just not good and I know and I just saw it. But worship music I'll put it on like on the treadmill and stuff and just listen to it and it always oh no.
She'll just play with herself for a moment here.
Perfect.
Come on.
Take it to mom.
Yep. Come on.
But the treadmill actually. The treadmill is like a huge one for me.
Remy is currently she's a tug of war dog.
You are. Hi.
Rem. You're gonna need to go out, honey.
No, she's fine. She goes, Mom, I'm
the people
fine.
who are listening to this on audio right now are gonna be so
That's
confused.
true. I always forget that.
Yeah.
How many people do you think just listen on audio versus video?
I could give you exact numbers because I know those.
Do you?
Yeah.
How much
You can,
more
like-
is video versus
It
audio?
honestly just depends.
It just depends.
Sometimes there's guests that
I like need
Listen.
the video.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I kind of forget that there's an option of just listening.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I want to see them.
The ASMR of
Let me see
Remy
the tug
with
of
the
war.
soccer ball right now. Hey, Rem, can you just come here for 2 seconds? Come here.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. You got that one out.
Sorry, it was not a problem. She's so beautiful. No, the treadmill actually was the thing for me that saved me during like one of my lowest kind of spurts and it was funny because it was the first time that I was kind of looking at working out and being so careful because it was entering the second season of PLL that like I realized, oh my gosh, this is so good for me.
Yeah.
I think just like sweating, like that time to just sweat from like a mental standpoint, has been huge. And so big that like even like my family sometimes will be like, have you just went and walked? And it's not for any other reason except for I just find that it really clears my head.
Yeah.
And so that's a big one. And then it's usually just like talking out loud, not staying up here. I think that's the biggest thing. So my sister or whoever in my life who I'm blessed to get to have love me, which I'm very grateful for. It's trying to get it out of up here when it's really heavy and just trying to speak out loud. Because once it builds, it can get tough to get out of that place.
Yeah. I feel like you just like get stuck in it and you're like,
it's
you don't know
consuming,
what
isn't
way's true.
Yeah. Or what you're placing into it. And so that is something I'm really aware of now. So and I think I think things can work for you that then just stop working.
Yeah.
Which can be really frustrating for people. Like I have friends who are like, this is finally working for me and this has made me feel a lot better and now it doesn't anymore. And so I think it's just the edge and flows of trying to navigate it with all that life throws at you because it's different every day.
Yeah. Life, man.
Life.
This life.
This
This
life.
life.
This little life.
This life. Speaking of this life, what's next for you? I know you've like been dabbling in music.
Yes.
Do you want more of that? Are you gonna act more? Are you gonna
I do.
do something else?
I do want more with music.
Yeah.
For myself, which I think that's why I want more for it, is because I'm not doing it for any other reason except for if I can check off the thing that when I was a little girl said that I wanted to do. How cool is that?
Yeah.
My partner is a musician who produces, so if I could connect with him on that thing and work with him and have that for our relationship, that's such a beautiful thing for us.
Yeah.
And then I think for someone who's been interviewed since I was so little, who's like asked the same things all the time, to get to just not have anything twisted or half printed or whatever it is, and just be in control of that story.
Yeah.
Whether it's personal about my life or it's just like this persona that exists of me that I would love to write about and make it even more elaborate, is good. But I have a song. We have a couple, but I think I'm gonna release this next one. I finally, it's me. And it's weird because I like, again, harsh worst critic. So I hear it and I'm like, if Kelsey Ballerini released it, I love it.
Yeah.
But it's me. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But but I just believe in the song, and it's literally about navigating really like your 20s, and which is everything that we've kind of been talking about too today. And then I just produced a movie before the end of the year. So before I came here, I was on with the editors and we're editing it and cutting it. And
Wow.
I just love being behind the scenes. And so I think a lot of this year, one, it's the first time I've been free in a minute.
Yeah.
So just being really selective about what energy I'm walking into and what I'm bringing into my life and who I'm surrounded by. I think trying to be more protective of that more than ever in my life now. And I've always been a believer of like God's plan.
Yeah.
So actually just really trusting that and being like God's plan. Like,
Yeah.
And carving out, I think, more time to be like, what is it that I love so much that you've built this for yourself. No, I truly mean that. Like, it's such a beautiful thing. When I was little, it's the thing that I would always talk about is I love people. How do I connect with people more? And so I think entering this new year, and then we've all, like, LA's been such a mess. Like, the fires were so sad. And there's just so much community and reminders of outside of all the noise and outside of, like, what our phones show us and the perfection of everything, which is just so tough on a mind. Like, what is my place in a field like this? Because it is the truest form of my heart. So I think trying to just breathe and, like, live and, I don't know, go with the freaking flow.
Yeah.
For once, I feel like.
Just go with it.
Just go with it, babe.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
I had to.
No, I'm glad you did.
The pun presented itself.
I've said it before, and then I get nervous that someone thinks that I've said it on purpose. And I'm like, just go with it.
You can. It's fine. I'll allow it. If
you.
You can quote yourself, make your jokes. You can. Anyone can do it. If they did it, they can do it. Whatever. I don't care.
Thank you.
This has been so fun. I'm so happy.
I could talk to you all day, though.
know.
That's the thing.
I know. Taylor finishes his meeting. He's like, "Are you guys still recording?" We're
know.
like 2
I'm
hours
like,
later.
did we get to everything?
Yeah.
Do you think that people will like this?
Oh my gosh! Wait. Shut up. Yes, they will.
you think
Is there anything
they'll
else you
enjoy
want to talk about? Is there anything on your heart that you like came in wanting to talk about?
No, I don't. I mean, no. I think I basically just said thank you to you for this space, because I think that is what I wanted to say. It's just thank you for this, and you have people who also thank you, and I don't know. I feel like, just to everyone listening, I just think the world is so loud right now, and I think our phones are so loud, and we're all doing the best that we can. And I've just gone through such a series of change in the last 2 months. Like, I feel like everything that I thought I knew or was in place, or people that I thought were there forever, like, there's just been so much change and loss. And so from someone who's just navigating what it's like to put trust in people, to lose that trust, to then open your heart back up again, to then retry to navigate it. If you're going through any form of change, I think I just want to say, allow yourself to acknowledge that change is a lot, and it is scary, and it brings up a lot of things, and people can say to you, you know, people are there for a reason or a season, and they'll come at you with things that really are true and make sense, but it's really tough to hear in that time and in that moment. So and I say this to my sister, and I try to say it to myself and all the women in my life and people that I love, but just try to give yourself grace. Like, grace is the most beautiful thing. And if you're not talking to Jesus, start talking to him again if you feel like it, and say hello, and just see how that starts to kind of move your soul, and just be kind.
Yeah.
And just know everyone's, like, actually pretty fragile.
Yeah.
For the most part, we're all pretty fragile, and just
so
doing our best. So lead with yourself and have no regrets if you are who you are at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even if others tell you it ain't good, it is good.
Yeah.
You are good.
It's so true.
You're enough.
You are enough. I love that.
You're lovely.
Thanks.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it.